Hey, howdy. Liberal academics are just educated idiots. Oh, or idiots that are educated. Hey, just giving you some stuff from your wiser advisor to start your day. Hey, watch this. Got a video for you. It's kind of cute. It's about a liberal person with no vision. They have no vision. And his eyes are now open. He sees the light. He sees things the way they should be from the right. Huh, I saw the light. Have a look.
Outside in my mind, 'cause sometimes I look in her eyes, and that's where I find the glimpse of us. And I try to fall for her touch, but I'm thinking of the way you are. Said I'm fine, said I'm moved on. I'm only here passing time in her arms, hoping I'll find a way.
Hey, kind of cute. Governments and big businesses, they seem to be in a race to go woke, to go as crazy as they can. But you know, in the effort to be inclusive or crazy, they exclude almost everyone else, including their traditional audiences. They don't care about anybody. They just care about their political positions. You gotta kind of, reach out a little bit and think about who pays the bills. And they don't do that. Budweiser, of course, is an example. Sales of their beer now has plummeted by 50%. And different numbers from different people, but no matter how you add it or subtract it, there's billions, probably upwards to $8 billion worth of shareholder value that is gone. And that's a good thing, because, hey guys, you had no right to do that, no right at all. Finally, consumers are showing signs of life in the culture wars. It is about time, and it is a war, right? I mean, it's them against us, and it's crazy against sane. Insane against sane, maybe. And banks do it. They don't care about their shareholders. So many other people and corporations do it. It's time to rise up here, guys and girls, because we're mad and we're not going to take it anymore. Like, leave us alone. Leave the politics to the politicians. Hey, maybe that means me too, I guess. But I have an opinion, and I'm kind of on a platform that is doing that, and you don't have to listen. You don't like it, switch the channel. Whereas these guys are in your face all of the time because they're huge corporations. And they're wonky people. Air Canada in Canada. Air Canada has an interesting history. It's basically a government-owned airline. It really is. I mean, they went public once, but owned by the government. They went out and they nationalized all the different airlines, and then they said, hey, we shouldn't own it anymore, so we're going to go public. So they sold shares to the public. But you know what? They bought most of the shares themselves with their pension funds and a variety of other things. So effectively, they sold you what you already owned, and they continue to own it. And since then, the airline loses billions and billions of dollars, and Air Canada has a motto: when you're happy, when you're not happy, rather, we're happy. That's kind of what it's all about. So listen to this. Recently, during COVID, they were in trouble. They're always in trouble. The government of Canada gave them almost $6 billion. $6 billion. Last year, they lost $3 billion. And they gave everyone a raise. The CEO, he got a raise up to $12.5 million a year. That's a 233% increase. They put out another $10 million in COVID-19 pandemic mitigation bonuses to all the people who helped the company lose money. So they get bonuses. And this has been going on for a long, long time. Every time Air Canada loses money, the more money they lose, the more the people that work there get for a raise. It's true. I mean, wow, what's going on? I mean, the inmates are in charge of the asylum. That's kind of what is going on. Saskatchewan, Canada. Firstly, let me say, in Canada, the federal government has come out with all these new gun control laws. So Alberta and Saskatchewan have come with some seemingly pushback stuff. It makes for good headlines. It says, we now have passed this Firearms Act, and with unanimous consent, and this legislation will create a strong, consistent framework to enhance public safety and support the tradition of responsible firearm use and ownership in this province. Again, sounds good. That's the headline. And Bob Freeberg, he's the chief firearms officer. He's a very good friend of mine. I'm going to see Bob in 2 weeks at I hope he's there, because I will be at the CSSA, Canadian Shooting Sports Association, at their AGM in London, Ontario. That's Saturday, April 29th. And I'm going to say, Bob, explain this to me, because it makes it sound like it's so strong and so good. But here's what the Act actually says. With respect to recent changes by the federal government that impact lawful fire owners, we're going to do this. We're going to establish license requirements for seizure agents involved in firearms expropriation. What that means to me is that at the present time, they're just going to come in apparently and grab your guns, right? And he's now saying we're going to make them get a license first. Okay, but they're still going to take my guns. The next one is we're going to require and oversee fair compensation for any guns that are seized. Okay, now they say they're just going to take them, and you're going to say you have to pay for them. But they're still taking them. They're still taking my property, and someone else is determining the amount of money that I get from my property. I'm not happy about that. Then they say the next is we're going to have testing of seized firearms. Why? You're going to test my gun. Why? That's dumb. Next thing is you're going to establish a provincial firearms regulatory system to promote the safe and responsible use of firearms. Hey, Bob, you already do that, and you do a good job at that. I get it, but you already do that. So again, the headline is nice because it sounds like someone is helping me, but they're not. And the same thing in Alberta. If you want to help me, stand up and be tough and say, hang on here, guys. You may think that the law is on your side. We're creating a new law. You're not going to be coming and taking the property away from my citizens. You're not going to do that. Stand up, man up, cowboy up, and get the job done. Bob, you and I are going to chat about this because maybe I'm missing something. Hey, and if anybody in Canada is in favor of or supports gun owners and is looking to help them, it would be Bob. So there you go. I'm anxious to sit and chat with him because he, like me and every other Canadian person with a gun, a boomity boom, we're upset because the federal government is just, they're bad, doing bad things. Hey, y'all, come back. See ya.